Coming up on this edition of Flashtalk, brought to you by Brian Hing and Cooling, we talk Mid-American Conference Championships with Coach of the Year and MAC champion Casey VanDamme of our women's golf team. Jeff Duncan comes in to talk about the big weekend over BG and what you can expect this weekend when we take on Miami. Kate Lewis stops by to talk about all the upcoming events with the Golden Flashes Club, and Jess O'Donnell discusses senior weekend on the Divine Diamond. Plus, we tell you how you can get a sweet pair of these glasses. That's all coming up in a flash. Welcome back into our Flash Talk studios. Flash Talk brought to you by Brian Hing and Cooling. Dan Griffin talking with the reigning Mid-American Conference champion and coach Casey VanDamme of our women's golf team. Coach, congratulations. I know it wasn't easy, but a job well done. 25 straight years by the program, and I know it's not the longest dominant stretch by a team, but it's got to be the only one where only one team has been crowned a champion. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks for having me. It was a stressful week, but fortunately we got it done.
Well, yeah, Toledo gave you everything they could that you guys could probably handle. But again, that day 3, you guys really pulled away, and I wanted to say ended up winning it easily, but it was probably a little easier to breathe on the back 9, and obviously 2 medalists as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and a third place. So first, second, third. And so our top players played really well. And Jennifer Goop finished her last 5 holes 2 under par, and that was a big difference maker and separated us for sure from Toledo. But,
I mean, just talk a little bit about, like you said, it was a stressful week, but I think that kind of gives you a little bit of a taste of what to expect come a regional, to where you're not running away and hiding by 30 strokes. You're grinding out a final round. You're grinding out a back 9, and that's what you can expect kind of going forward from here on out.
Yeah, when you get into the postseason, every shot in our sport counts, and every decision you make counts. And just like we talked about last time, control and what you can control. And they had a little stress, so they're ready to go get some more stress.
They have, and I was talking with Coach Mills, and I'll ask you the same question. When you're out on the course, and obviously it's a 5, 6, 7 hour round, obviously the conversations with each golfer is not always about golf. So what are you doing to try to lighten the mood and maybe make them smile a little bit, relax, and kind of refocus by taking their mind off of the task at hand?
Yeah, I think it's different. Every player, it's getting to know your players, and what some of them stay pretty locked in for most of the time, and then a lot of them need to get away from it and quit thinking about it and get back into it as they get closer to the ball and the shot. And so just knowing it's very individual, and that's what you have the whole season to kind of figure people out, and multiple seasons. Sometimes it takes multiple years because sometimes people are in different spots mentally from year to year.
It depends on where they are in the lineup or how they're playing. But do you have any kind of go-to topics? Are you trying to are you researching pop culture and music so you can kind of figure things out? Are you telling jokes on the course? Like, what is the Casey VanDamme go-to?
I have a lot of bad dad jokes.
Okay.
My children tell me. I think they're pretty good, and my golf team also tells me I have a lot of bad dad jokes. So I again don't believe them either. But that always is a good go-to. And then just they all have different interests, and you know what their interests are, and you hear different things they say, and so throughout the year, different topics. The main thing is getting them away from it a little bit, and then recentering, coming back to it.
You guys head out west. You guys go into the Vegas regional. Cool trip, cool experience to go out there. But we were talking a little bit before the segment that you guys actually got to play this course last year, which certainly has to take a little bit of the guesswork out.
Yeah, we're lucky we get invited to great events, and one of the events we played in last year, UNLV and Furman co-hosted a tournament at Spanish Trails where we're playing the regional. And so anytime we can go to a regional course, we did it this year, we'll do it again next year, we go there just in case we happen to get, by chance we get there. And fortunately for us, we have played at this one and we know what to expect.
Well, you guys are going to go out there and give it your best shot. Now, for those that don't know, how does one advance out of the regionals? I know the teams have done it before, but we also saw Leon Tagaki made it all the way to the championship round last year as an individual. So kind of walk us through how everything goes as we close them out.
There's 12 teams at the regional, and there's, I think, 6 individuals. that have made it from their season play or winning a conference tournament. And then at the end of this event, the top 5 teams advance, and the top individual not on one of those top 5 teams advances.
Well, Coach, best of luck, and keep the dad jokes coming. Keep the everything. Try to stay cool out there. It is the middle of the desert. I think that's also going to be a little bit of the battle. Is just the fatigue and the dehydration going on there. So, best of luck. Try to enjoy some of the time in Vegas. I know it's a business trip, but best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back inside our Flash Talk studios. We're brought to you by Brian Heating and Cooling. Dan Griffin talking some baseball with head coach Jeff Duncan. And Coach, what an electric weekend. I thought it was 3 playoff-style atmospheres, both from the intensity from both Bowling Green and your squad, but the crowd as well.
3 sellouts at Schoonover. We'll take that. A Friday night walk-off, and then us being able to 10-run them on Sunday was awesome. So a really good series win for us against Bowling Green, who's came in here at 17-1 in the league, and for us to go in and take 2 from them and really feed off the crowd that we had all weekend at Schoonover. It was jumping, and it was a fun atmosphere to play in.
I know it's a series in April, but that felt like it was for all the marbles.
Yeah, it felt like a regional setting. Yeah, for sure. And it was intense. And obviously, Coach Halleck was back too, who's a Kent State alum and proud baseball alum. And so we saw a lot of alums back in town. We saw just great support, great crowds, loud. And for our guys to play, they played with a ton of energy. They have all year, but they played with a ton of energy. They were really resilient. They competed. Just a great weekend for us, confidence-wise, too.
You guys battle back and get a big-time victory on Friday in walk-off fashion, but just timely at bats, especially from the bottom part of the lineup, to be able to work at bats and be able to either get on base or get that big base hit. It would have been pretty easy when BG late in the game goes up for you guys to kind of buckle under that pressure. But not only did you respond, you responded and took it right back to them.
I really like our lineup right now. Well, it's a 1 through 9. Like you get through the first 5 hitters, who are some of the better hitters in the league, and then all of a sudden you get to Michael McNamara at 6, who's been one of the best hitters over time. Obviously he's battled some injuries this year, but he's starting to get healthy. He's swinging it better, and he starts it in the 6th hole. And then Peyton Ebbing and guys like that have been really tough, in our 7, 8, and 9. So Ripken Reese had a great weekend for us, had 2 really big hits for us, had 1 double yesterday, and then had obviously a big base hit up the middle on Friday. So when we're able to stretch our lineup like that, it's really tough on a pitching staff.
Man, you talk about him, you talk about Brody Williams, guys that early in the year saw occasional playing time but weren't regulars, but now when their number has been called, they have thrived under when their time has come.
Brody Williams is hitting in our 4-hole right now, and we knew he was extremely capable to do that, and what he's done in the last month and a half consistently. Just feels like every at-bat, like he's hitting something hard or has some kind of really quality at-bat. So he's been huge for us. And then also, too, Hunter Klotz and Lance McDonald, guys that have been shifting in and out. They've been really big pieces of this, too.
But again, another big weekend here this weekend. We've got Miami coming into town, one of the hottest teams in the conference, and a lot of fun. We'll talk a little bit about the promos and what all we have in store here later, but man, you're talking about another electric weekend and a chance to make another statement.
No doubt. And Miami of Ohio, I think we were talking about it before the show. I think they're at 10 games in a row they've won. Very talented group. So they returned a lot of guys from last year. And they did not play well early. But now they're starting to really play well and pitch it well. And offensively, they're swinging it. So it'll be a really good challenge for us again. I actually love it. After a weekend like this weekend and the just the way we played and the way I feel like we're really starting to play well at the right time, and that's the biggest, most important part. And our weekend rotation, who we missed a couple starters, are now starting to get healthy, and we're going to be able to lengthen out some of our bullpen. So I feel really good about this weekend. It's going to be important for us to play really good baseball and continue to play with the energy. I mean, this group, just thinking back in the last month and a half, some of the adversity that we've had to deal with from an injury standpoint and the way we've won games has been absolutely phenomenal. It's a fun group to watch. And another key piece to our lineup has been Kyle Jackson, who's kind of, and you cannot say Josh Johnson as well, and Tim Orr. So like those guys have been a huge part of our lineup. And then Eric Chalice's performance, really, he's been very consistent all year long. You know what you're going to get out of him on a Sunday. He throws 4 pitches for a strike, left-handed, and competes. He's won a lot of games in our league. So really excited about this weekend.
I'll get started on Friday night at 6 o'clock. It'll be go 6-3-1 as let's keep them coming in the left-hand column as we roll along here. And the critical part of the season, it's going to be another playoff-like atmosphere. Looking forward to it.
Oh, my gosh. Really looking forward to it. Let's keep Schoonover jumping, and let's continue to play good baseball.
Coach, always a pleasure.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
Welcome back into our Flash Talk studios. We are brought to you by Brian Heating and Cooling, talking some marquee events and fan experience with the Director of Advancement Operations, Kate Lewis. And Kate, it is a busy time in the advancement household.
It is a crazy time right now. We have a lot of things coming up just in the next month. First up, we're starting with the Kentucky Derby, which is going to be this Friday, May 3rd, down over at Schoonover Stadium in the third base tent. And decided to bring a couple sample drinks for you to try.
There we go.
We are going to have a full buffet for anyone who wants to come down, and we have specialty drink options for anyone. And if you're not that big of a drinker or you have a kid with you, we also have a price point that saves you the 2 drink tickets and gets you some soda and water instead.
So moving on, we've got the helmet here for our football enhanced experience. That's coming up in a couple of Mondays from now. It's called Pizza, Punts, and Pints with our good friends in Stowe at Bellacino's. Talking a little ball with Kenny Burns and some coaches. What can fans kind of expect there as we kind of peel back the curtain to all things college football?
Yep, we'll have Kenny there along with a couple of the other coaches to talk about how spring ball went, what the upcoming season's looking like, the incoming recruiting class. And then we also have an auction with that event, and this is one of our specialty items that'll be up for auction. This is a custom-made concept helmet by Jacob McBride that he made specialty for this event. So this isn't something you'll normally really see on field, but it's a nice little concept, one of a kind that someone could luckily take home.
That is Monday, May the 13th.
Yep.
I believe it's getting started at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
And doors will open, obviously, a little bit before. Bellacino's. Good pizza, good
pizza.
beer,
Yep.
good football. I mean, what more could you absolutely ask for when it comes to that kind of stuff? And obviously, it's summer. Summer is golf weather. And we've got the Golden Flash Bash coming up as well. That is June the 1st. And, I mean, you're talking a day-long golf extravaganza, auction, dinner, music. I mean, it's a true bash.
It is a true bash. So start at 3 o'clock with a shotgun start for our golf outing. But if you're like me, you're not a golfer, you can skip the golf part and just come to the after party where we'll have Punching Oswald that's going to be doing some rock covers. And so people can come, hang out. We'll have delicious food from Bellacino's, and that will be at Fairways at Twin Lakes. The after party will start at 5. Golfing will start at 3.
This is just one of the baskets that we're going to be auctioning off, and obviously it celebrates all things women's basketball as they cut down the nets, winning the 2024 MAC championship. So you can bid on this, but we've got a number of other cool items, and then if you're not an item guy or a collector, you can also bid on some experiences as well with our teams, to whether it's an upgrade experience, a chance to go on a road trip. You guys really have all the boxes checked for whether you're a Kent State fan or just a sports nut.
Right, and even if you're not a sports fan, we also have our raffle item this year is going to be a stay down in Siesta Key with a condo stay down there. And also,
That's Florida?
That's Florida.
Nice.
And even better, live auctioning off a stay in Hawaii, 7-night stay in Hawaii. If you would like it, live auction.
I would love it.
Right?
I'm not winning it, but I would love it.
7-night stay out in Hawaii, in Maui, I believe. And so it's all your travel has to take care of yourself, but it is an incredible Hilton condo out in Maui, Hawaii.
So that is June the 1st.
Yep.
Fairways at Twin Lakes. You get the golf, you get the music, you get the auction, you get the dinner, you get the drinks.
Yep.
It's going to be the bashes are always a lot of fun, and you guys don't want to miss this. If they want more information or how to get tickets, where would they go?
So you go to kentstatesports.com/goldenflashbash.
Easy enough. Kate Lewis, always a pleasure. Again, we'll see you on Friday, third base tent for Miami. Then we got Punts and Pints on May the 13th. And then you finally get to breathe June 2nd after the Flash Bash on June 1st.
And then we're coming back real quick with Coach's Caravan not long after.
We'll have more information on that at kentstatesports.com. But Kate Lewis, thank you again as always.
Thank you, Dan.
Let's take a look at what's going on around Kent State athletics. As always, we're brought to you by KSUTix.com. It's another big weekend for our Diamond Sports as our baseball team welcomes in the red-hot Miami Redhawks for a 6 p.m. first pitch in the series opener on Friday. It'll be our Pit Viper giveaways, so get here early for some sunglasses and the Kent Ducky Derby promotion, where we'll have an upgraded experience in our third base tent. On Saturday, our softball team welcomes in the school down the road for a doubleheader starting at 1 p.m. It's Senior Appreciation Day. We'll also be giving away Pit Vipers, plus a number of other great giveaways. On Saturday, it's the middle game of our baseball series versus Miami with a 3 p.m. first pitch. And then the series on the Diamonds wrap up on Sunday. Softball at 1 o'clock. It'll be Senior Appreciation Day. Baseball will also be hosting Miami at 1 o'clock. It is Cinco de Mayo celebration. And best of luck to our women's golf team, who'll be competing in the Vegas Regional here coming up next week. Welcome back into our GFTV studios. It is Flash Talk. As always, we're brought to you by Brian Heating and Cooling. Talk a little softball. That softball coach, Jess O'Donnell, and a big weekend coming up this weekend we'll talk about briefly, but you gave it a go and gave Miami all they could handle out at their place, but they're 41-7 for a reason.
Yeah, they certainly are. It was, you know what, I tell you, Friday was impressive. Our team fought hard. 11 hits. We out-hit them, which was awesome. And our pitching's young. We know that. So, yeah, I was just impressed with the day, and Megan kept them off balance for a good bit. So Friday was good. Saturday, I think we should have fought a little bit harder, but you live and learn.
Coach, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about your first taste of the Wagon Wheel rivalry. Welcome to the Wagon Wheel week as the school down the road comes to town for a big senior weekend, but just your overall thoughts in general about college rivalries.
I'm looking forward to it, honestly. I mean, this has been ever since I took the job. That's all I knew is the school down the road and what you can expect. And just that it doesn't matter how either of us are doing through our season, but when it comes to that field, anybody's game. And it is a very heated rivalry. And I've been able to watch a few between football and basketball. That rivalry and that fan base, man, it's intense. I love it. There's nothing better in college athletics than a good rivalry.
Regardless of the sport, you always are going to have some sort of connection to where the players have grown up playing against each other. They chose, obviously, different paths. And to me, that adds a little bit more fuel to the fire because, obviously, bragging rights are on the line, but there's just this intimate familiarity that goes back for most years.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And, yeah, we know a lot of their players from even just recruiting in the region, and we know it's going to be a good battle for sure, and anybody's game, and we're both competing for a spot in that tournament, so it'll be a good one.
Obviously, your first senior class here at Kent State, and you've only had a year to know these kids, but they've certainly made an impact on you and obviously the team.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Emily, Alex, and Julia have definitely – they've welcomed me with open arms and really – stepped up to everything that I've ever asked them to do, both from a leadership standpoint and a player standpoint and even a person standpoint. They really are good people, above all, great students, students of the game. And sometimes when you have seniors, they're kind of like, it's my way and I'm good. And I've been doing this my whole life, but they've all been open to coaching and open to me. And I think that's the key and it makes it a lot of fun too, just being able to come to work every day and see them and get to work with them. So they'll definitely be missed, but we're looking forward to a good weekend and sending them out on top.
Just talk about that relationship because it has to happen quick and you're relying on them to kind of be leaders and trust you only for one season.
Yeah, and I think really it's establishing those standards early and what our expectations are. And, hey, this is where we're going. I need you to be a part of this. I need you to help lead the underclassmen to show them that this is the right way. And there's a lot of trust there. I mean, that's one of our core values is trust. And if we can't build that trust between us and especially that senior class, then you might as well forget the season because it is that important that they trust the coaching staff trusts them, and trust that they're going to execute the game plan. And we have 3 really great seniors that they will be missed.
I ask all the coaches this: Are you a fan of senior weekend and senior days? You always get a mixed response. Some like the emotion because the team rallies behind it. Others like that's just one more distraction that I don't need my team to have. So I'll put you on the spot as to how you usually handle the message surrounding senior weekend.
I actually like it a lot. I mean, it's exciting, that emotion, that it's our last home game ever here at Kent State. And I think it needs to be celebrated just for everything that they've given to me and the program over the years. It's just a special time. And obviously, I'm sure there'll be some tears shed because I will miss them. But I love it just for the sake of everyone's time comes to an end, and let's celebrate this versus being sad, but celebrate it and have a great weekend and know that, hey, one game is the difference, really. One game is the difference between us going to the tournament or staying home, and how much fight does this team have, and any bit of emotion that works in our favor, I love it.
Well, you get Saturday and Sunday, 3 more opportunities to tell your story and showcase in what should be in front of a great rivalry crowd. Get out to the Divine Diamond and cheer on the right blue and gold.
Absolutely. Go Flashes.
That's going to do it for this edition of Flash Talk, brought to you by Brian Heating and Cooling. Join us next week when we take another deep dive into the wonderful world of Kent State athletics for the final time this season. For all of us here inside the GFTV studios, this is Dan Griffin saying goodnight and go Flashes.